Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody had a great and happy Thanksgiving and you got all those Black Friday deals that you are looking for. But today we're going to be thankful for some Star Wars The Black Series because we're going to be taking a look at is this a GameStop exclusive here in the States? This thing is huge, but it's the Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Darth Maul Phantom Menace 3-pack. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector.
And if you like my content, please consider subscribing.
All right, taking a closer look at the package here. This is a really nice display box. It's very simple. You just see the three figures you get. They're three lightsabers. The Phantom Menace gold bar right there. Their names right here. This new little triptych way of doing like multiple figures in the same pack. Beautiful artwork here on the side. Nothing on the side, nothing on the top. That kind of stuff there on the bottom. And then here on the back, that same beautiful triptych artwork. And then nice little write-up. It just says, Darth Maul came to Naboo with a mission to destroy Queen Amidala. Instead, he was met with the formidable Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and a fateful battle began. So that's it. Like I said, I don't know if this is a GameStop exclusive here in the States. I did get this from GameStop. I had it on pre-order from a long time ago. Because I did already have an Obi-Wan. I don't know if he came with soft goods. I think this might be the new Darth Maul that just came with his little sand speeder, his little speeder bike that we did just take a look at fairly recently. And then I don't have a Qui-Gon open. I do have a Qui-Gon Jinn in the Phantom Menace like retro packaging that I keep on the wall, but I don't have one open, so this is going to be the first time that I do have one, and they look like they have updated face print technology. So let's get this package opened up and see what we get. All right, we're going to start off with Obi-Wan Kenobi, and we're going to start off looking at his lightsaber here. The blade is removable, but the hilt is very nice, very cleanly painted. You do have the red activator button painted right there, and a little peg right here. I'm assuming this will fit somewhere on his belt, and it does. Let's see what that looks like. Let's get this plugged in. Kind of hard to do this from behind the camera, but we're gonna power through. We're gonna see if we can do it. There we go. There we have it. Is this braid? Okay, that's plastic. I was thinking, man, did they do soft goods on that? But there you have it. There's his lightsaber. He does come with this soft goods robe. I guess you could count this as an accessory as well. It's a very nice material. It's very thick. It doesn't feel cheap or papery in any way. But then, and let's see what the hood's going to do, because typically these hoods are not the best. It's kind of wrinkled up, but yeah, I kind of wish they would put a little wire in the hood so that you could pose it a little bit better, because soft goods are nice, but if you can't pose it very well, I mean, that doesn't look terrible, but also with this wrinkle, may have to do like some fabric softener, like in a little bowl of warm water, and kind of loosen these up a little bit. But it's not terrible. It's not terrible. You do have to kind of like tuck it back in on itself to get it to lay down properly. But I kind of dig it. I'm glad they come with robes, and I don't have to like buy like custom ones. But let's go ahead and see if we can pull this off and look at the figure underneath. Oh man, it's very tight fit on the cuffs, because they are very long and kind of blousy. But yeah, so here is the Obi-Wan Kenobi figure underneath, and that head sculpt is incredible. That face printing is probably some of the best I've seen. This is probably the best Obi-Wan Ewan McGregor. I almost called him Obi-Wan McGregor. Ewan McGregor head sculpt and paint that we've seen before. It's very impressive, even if he does look a little older than he did in the movie. Yeah. Saber just fell off, but that's okay. Looking at his belt, though, I mean, it is very nicely painted. It's got some dark gray, some brown, some gold. little accents all the way around, little silver right there on the buckle. Looks very nice. We do still have like the single jointed elbows. We have a horizontal hinge on this wrist. I kind of wish they would go with ball joints. And then we have, a horizontal wrist on this one. That's unfortunate. This really should be a vertical hinge. Oh man, just a missed opportunity there. So let's see here. No drop down on the legs. We do have the double jointed, but they are pinned legs for Obi-Wan, but they can go back that far with that skirt piece. It is split, so he can go forward. He can go out to the side about that far and then back about that far. Let's see here. No boot cut, no boot swivel, just a hinge and a pin down below, not even a swivel down there. So yeah, I kind of wish they would have updated the articulation a little bit, but maybe they thought with the new face printing tech on the face and the soft goods robe that they didn't have to go the extra mile for this set. But as it stands, it's a pretty nice Obi-Wan. Next up, we have Qui-Gon Jinn. So let's see here. We have his lightsaber looking really nice, nicely sculpted and painted. It's got the red little activator button there painted. I have another little peg here. It is removable. So we'll put that on his waist right here. We'll see how that plugs in before I, knock it off with these butterfingers, but it holds on there very nicely. And I would say that this is also like Obi-Wan, very nice head sculpt here on Qui-Gon. It does look like some updated paint tech, a little bit of, kind of a pinkish color there in the beard, or maybe a little bit of his flesh tone is showing through. Kind of would have liked for that to be a little darker. I know it needs some, salt and pepper gray, throughout. It definitely needs that, but just it's a little pink for me. Let's check out this hood. They have it folded all the way back. Well, that's good. So at least it's not, wrinkled up like Obi-Wan's. And there you have it. It's laying down pretty nicely. I like the way that looks, although, we don't see him with his hood up very much. It would have been really nice for him to come with the poncho, but you know what? That just means that maybe they'll give us a Qui-Gon in the future outside of this set again, maybe with the poncho. But I do like his robes, and that hood is laying down a little bit nicer than Obi-Wan's. So let's do the same thing. Let's get the robe off, and it's a little tight with these sleeves. But let's take a look at that belt. Lots of paint detail here: silver, black, silver and gold, some brown. Very nice all the way around. I really dig that. That just, there's not a lot of paint apps on here. There's not a lot of washes on the robes, but so I'm really glad they spent some time and attention on the belt. Again, we have horizontal hinges. Man, couldn't get a single vertical hinge. That's just such a shame. And look at those trigger fingers, man. Boy, that's Hasbro for you, putting trigger fingers on every single character they make. There's no split in the front, but you can, get his leg to go out that far, leg go out to the side about that far, and then back about that far. We do have the upper thigh cut, double jointed knees, even though they are pinned, can go back that far. Let's see, no upper boot cut. I do like his style of boots. And then we have the forward-facing pin and hinge, but no lower boot or foot articulation. And we just have that rotating cut right there at the waist. He does look good. And, if you, the Black Series Qui-Gons have been very few and far between. So this is another chance to get your hand on one. Next up, we have, of course, Darth Maul, and he, has his lightsaber that comes apart in two pieces. You can plug those together. You can keep the hilt together as two pieces if you want, the way he battled Qui-Gon in the desert. But, looks really nice. Nice sculpt, nice paint apps on there. We do have one plug for plugging it into his belt. I guess, of course, you'd want to plug it in like that. And we're going to see what that looks like. Let's take the blades off so that we can do that. Taking a look at Darth Maul here. This is the same Darth Maul that we got with the speeder, with the exception of, I believe, let me say it like this. This is the newly updated Darth Maul, but I think this is the new one that has been released with the maybe is it the retro collection, or maybe they released a single carded Darth Maul, because the one that came with the speeder had robes, soft goods underneath, not plastic robes. Now these are layered in many different layers here. You've got so many different panels, so you will get some movement out of the legs, but this is the new updated legs, the new updated boots. They're not nearly as bulky as the first figure from way back when. So you can pull his robe up, or his hood up all the way. Looks very nice. I dig the way that that looks. That's really cool. Let's see, we can lay it down, and then you can see that it's stitched closed right here. We're not going to go so far as to take this off. You see the long sleeves, because, Darth Maul looks really good with his robes on, even though, if he goes on your shelf and he's battling Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, he doesn't have these long flowy robes on. He has his more pared down look, but I'm not going to be taking them off. We're just going to keep them. If you want to check out what this, Darth Maul looks like, you can check out my review of the version with the with his little speeder bike, which looks really cool. Let's see here. Where is his little plug-in for his lightsaber? Oh, there it is. It's right there on that side. And then let's see what that looks like plugged into his belt. So you can plug it in right there on the side. Oof. It doesn't want to stay in very well. So that's unfortunate. But let's see here. He does have the single joint articulation point here at the waist, just like the other guys do. And then he can kick all the way forward, kick all the way out to the side, and then lean back about that far. He does have the double jointed. Nope, he has single jointed knees, and they are pinless because they just have that one plug. He does have an upper boot cut though, and then he has the hinge and forward-facing pin for foot articulation. So a very well articulated Darth Maul, and if you don't have the speeder one or the single carded one, this is a very nice one to have. So there you have it. There are the three figures posed up on the rotating base. I did want to point out something that I forgot to mention with Darth Maul, is that he is the new sculpt. Like I said, so instead of having vertical or horizontal hinges, his hinges are actually plugged into the hand, and they are in the in a ball socket, so you can kind of move them around as you want. They don't really go so far as a full horizontal or a full vertical, but they do have ball pegs, which is a little more than you would get if you had one or the other. So I did want to point that out because I forgot to mention that. I think these guys look great together. They're going to make a great and dynamic display on your Black Series shelf, no doubt about it. And like I said before, we've needed a new updated Darth Maul for a long time. We finally got one, and this year we've got him 3 times, this being the 3rd time he's been released this year. So definitely, if you haven't had a chance to pick one up yet, this is the time to do so. And I mean, where else are you going to get a Qui-Gon? We don't get them that often, but I'm really hoping that with Padme and Anakin coming out this year, that we got already this year, I really hoped that maybe next year Hasbro will give us this Qui-Gon again, maybe with a poncho and his communicator, maybe a little display of like the Queen's ship, so we could have that. That would be kind of cool. I would dig that very much. So, but yeah, I mean, if you haven't had a chance to pick this up, I believe this set is like $69.99, so $70, 3 figures, not that bad. I'm guessing it's a GameStop exclusive here in the States. I'm not totally sure if this was able to purchase first from Hasbro Pulse. I did happen to pre-order it and get it from GameStop, and it was in pre-order for about 3 months before it arrived. So, it just kind of arrived here all of a sudden. Totally forgot I'd even pre-ordered it. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I super appreciate it. Please continue to check us out over at Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I'm your host, Mark, and I will see you in the toy aisles.